We're recording. Okay. Good
Thanks,
evening.
Brad.
Welcome to the September 3rd meeting of the Anderson Township Board of Zoning Appeals. My name's Jeff Nye, and I'll serve as the chair of the board tonight. Did someone just join us?
It was me.
That was you. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh boy. Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. Due to the declared state of emergency in the nation, in Ohio, and in the township, and the order of the Director of the Ohio Department of Health issued March 12th, 2020, in response to the COVID-19 emergency, this meeting is being convened telephonically. The agenda for today's meeting is available on our website, www.andersontownship.org. Click Board of Zoning Appeals under Upcoming Events to review information for cases 16-2020 BZA and 17-2020 BZA. The board will accept public testimony via phone or video during the public hearing for these cases tonight. Before public testimony is provided, I will read an oath and you must swear in before speaking. We ask that all participants mute their phones and only unmute if speaking. If you are going to speak, please state your name and address. It's also helpful to speak directly into your phone as opposed to using the speaker feature if you can. At each of our board meetings, we encourage attendees to complete a sign-in sheet, including their name and address. If at some point during or after the meeting, if you'd like to electronically sign in, please send an email to pginty@andersontownship.org. That's pginty@andersontownship.org. Before the meeting begins, I'd like to identify the appointed Board of Zoning Appeals members that are participating in this meeting. I am Jeff Nye. I am the vice chair of the board, but I will be chairing tonight's meeting in the absence of our chair. Paul Shekels is our secretary. Steve Haber and Paul Sion are our other two regular members. And Earl Carell is our first alternate, filling in for the absent John Halpin tonight. Other personnel joining the meeting by phone include Brad Bowers, Planner 1, PJ Ginty, Planner 1, Sarah Donovan, Planner 1, and Kyle Gibbs, our co-op. Each of us will do our best to remember to state our name before speaking so that those of us joining by phone can follow along. We thank you for joining us. We appreciate your patience, understanding during these times. This meeting of the Anderson Township Board of Zoning Appeals is hereby called to order. This board was established pursuant to Section 519.13 of the Ohio Revised Code by the Anderson Township Board of Trustees to provide administrative relief to any person or entity adversely affected by the Anderson Township zoning resolution. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Mr. Carell?
Here.
Mr. Shekels? He's on mute. Mr. Shekels?
Unmuted here.
Mr. Sion?
Here.
Mr. Haber?
Here.
And Mr. Nye?
Here. Thank you for attending this teleconference meeting of the Anderson Township Board of Zoning Appeals. Please be aware that this meeting is being recorded. I'll outline our procedures. A summary of the appeal is presented by staff. Then the appellant will present its case after being sworn in. The board members may then ask questions of the staff or the appellant. After that, all persons supporting the appeal will be permitted to testify one at a time after being sworn in and recognized by the chair. When those persons supporting the appeal are finished, we'll hear from people who are opposed to the appeal. Will be sworn in and permitted to testify or ask questions of the board after being sworn in and recognized. Are there any changes to tonight's agenda?
Mr. Nye, do you want to swear in staff at this point?
I was going to do it in just a moment after we got before. I was going to do that as item 2.5 on the agenda.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me. I did forget last month, didn't I?
Right. I move that we approve the agenda.
Is there any objection to the agenda? Hearing none, the agenda is approved by unanimous consent. Is there any change to the minutes from the August 6th meeting? Hearing none, the minutes are approved by unanimous consent. All right. That brings us to the presentation of the cases. Will all staff who are going to be testifying tonight please raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
I do.
Okay, will staff please present case 16-2020 BZA, which is a variance request to allow a 6-foot high privacy fence in the front yard where 6-foot high privacy fences are only permitted in the rear yard. And this is at 2419 Anderson Manor Court.
Thank you, Mr. Nye. This is PJ Ginty. I'll be presenting case 16-2020 BZA. The applicant for this case is Connor and Caitlin Barkley. They are the property owners. It is located at 2419 Anderson Manor Court, and the zoning is A2 residence. The request before you this evening is a variance request to allow a 6-foot high privacy fence in the front yard of the property, where only a 4-foot high, 75% open fence is permitted per Article 5.2A9 of the zoning resolution. The applicant is requesting to construct a 6-foot high privacy fence in the front and rear yard portion of their property. The subject property has frontage on both Hunley Road and Anderson Manor Court. The applicant intends to enclose their property with the 6-foot high privacy fence, which will extend into the front yard area along Hunley Road. Currently, there's a 4-foot high, 75% open fence in the front yard along Hunley Road. The house was built in 1999, and the current owner purchased the property in April 2020. In 2000, a zoning certificate was issued for a 16 by 16 and 10 by 14 uncovered deck. In June of 2020, a zoning certificate was issued for a new 16-foot by 18-foot deck, which was recently constructed in the rear yard of the property. This is a property map of the subject property. So as you can see, it's a double frontage lot that has frontage on both Anderson Manor Court and Hunley Road. This is an aerial map of the property, showing that there is quite a bit of distance from Hunley Road to where the actual property line starts. This is Hamilton County right-of-way. And then there is some vegetative screening along the southernmost portion of their property, located in the area where the fence is proposed to go. And this is a topography map. The site is relatively flat. There is a berm that is along Hunley Road right at the edge of the property in question. This is a site plan of the property that was submitted by the applicant. As you can see, about the fence sticks out about 17 feet to the south from the house going towards Hunley Road. And Hunley Road is out of this image and is actually down to the south. But to illustrate the actual variance request, the area outlined in red is the portion of the property that is considered the applicant's front yard along Hunley Road. So really the variance is a request to allow the red portion of the property, or the red portion of this proposed fence to remain to be constructed in the front yard. And then the blue portion would be permitted as of right, just by getting a zoning certificate. So this is an image that was submitted by the applicant. So this shows the existing deck that's in the rear yard portion of their property. Off to the right of this image is the applicant's front yard portion that is along Hunley Road. As you can see, there's that 4-foot tall, 75% open fence that I had referenced earlier. And then you can see the start of the berm that's located closer to Hunley Road. And the fence would stick out about 17 feet from the front of this house. And then this is the material that this is a picture submitted by the applicant, just showing an example of what the fence will look like if approved. So this was a picture taken from the front driveway of the property in question. So this was taken from Anderson Manor Court and looking to the west. This is an image looking to the west again. So this is to the right side of the house, so opposite side of where the fence is proposed to go. This is an image looking to the southwest towards Hunley Road. You can see here's the 4-foot tall, 75% open fence, and then here is the berm located in that portion of the property as well. And then there is some vegetative screening that's located in that area as well. This is looking from Hunley Road to the north of the property towards the front yard area of the property. As you can see, here's the berm and then more vegetative landscaping in the area as well. This is an image looking from Hunley Road over to the northeast portion of the property, or just from Hunley Road to the northeast. So this, you can see the applicant's house is screened by vegetative screening in the area. Here's the 4-foot tall, 75% open fence in the area as well, and the berm. This is an image looking to the west from Hunley Road. This is if you're driving on Hunley Road and going to the west. You can see the vegetative screening as well as the berm that's located in the area. And then I believe the new deck that was constructed as well. Again, another image looking to the north that illustrates the screening that is already existing on the property. And an important note to make, this landscaping is on the applicant's property. It's not in the right of way, according to CAGIS. This is looking at the applicant's rear yard, where they are also proposing to build the 6-foot tall privacy fence. And then this is the portion of the property looking to the east towards Anderson Manor Court in the applicant's rear yard. So this is the opposite side of Hunley Road. And this is the entire, this picture illustrates the entire portion of the applicant's rear and front yard looking towards Hunley Road. Staff is of the opinion that the variance would not be substantial due to the mature trees in the front yard screening the fence from Hunley Road. In addition, because the property has frontage on both Hunley Road and Anderson Manor Court, the portion along Hunley Road is considered their front yard, even though this area functions as the applicant's rear yard. The essential character of the neighborhood would not be altered, and adjoining properties would not suffer a substantial detriment as a result of the variance. The proposed fence would be parallel to Hunley Road rather than a neighboring residence. The proposed fence will be located approximately 55 feet from the edge of pavement of Hunley Road and be screened by existing vegetation. In addition, there is an existing 6-foot high, 400 feet in length privacy fence located at the south of the property in question along Hunley Road. Staff believes this was constructed when the residences to the south were built. Also, in 2018, the Board of Zoning Appeals granted a variance to allow the property to the east along Anderson Manor Court to construct an accessory structure in a similar location as the proposed privacy fence. The variance would not adversely affect the delivery of governmental services. The property owner's predicament can be feasibly obviated through some method other than a variance. A 6-foot high privacy fence could be installed in the applicant's rear yard. A 4-foot high, 75% open fence would be permitted anywhere on the property, or landscape screening could be installed. But the applicant has indicated that they want more privacy for their rear yard. Staff is of the opinion that the spirit and intent behind the zoning requirement would be observed by granting the variance due to the orientation of the house on a double frontage lot, the mature trees screening the proposed fence along Hunley Road, the existing 6-foot high privacy fence across the street on Hunley Road, and the applicant's desire for privacy in their rear yard. And here are the standards to be considered. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Carell, let's start with you. Do you have any questions for staff?
Not at this point. No, I'm not at this point.
Okay, Mr. Shekels,
No, excellent report, guys.
Mr. Sion,
No questions.
Mr. Haber.
No questions, thank you.
The only question I had was about that fence across the street. I think you said you thought it was constructed when those houses across the street were constructed. Do you know when that was about? And that was post zoning, right?
I believe it was. I'm not sure on the age of the houses. I can find that information on Cages or on the Hamilton County Auditor's website if you would like me to.
No, it's not really critical to me. I mean, I know the neighborhood, and that's kind of the consideration. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a better history on that fence.
Okay, Mr. Carell, any follow-up questions after that?
No, they did a good report.
Mr. Shekels, any follow-up questions?
No,
Mr. Sion,
No, thank you.
and Mr. Haber.
No, thank you.
Okay, for the will the appellant or the appellant's representative please unmute yourself, speak into your microphone, and state your name and address?
Yes, Connor and Caitlin Barkley and 2419 Anderson Manor Court.
Okay, will you please raise your right hand? You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Yes.
Okay, please tell us anything you'd like to tell us.
I think that was a pretty comprehensive summary, so thank you very much for putting that together. Other comments that we would add would the approval of the variance would just give us a little bit more usable space in the backyard, which is why we are seeking to construct the fence in the front. And just that the privacy fence will give us additional privacy. And one of our other main concerns is just safety, being that Hunley is a quite busy road. Anything else?
No, we thank you, for your time and consideration of this variance, and PJ very much appreciate your help with this report.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Carell, any questions for the appellants?
No, not at all.
Mr. Shekels?
none, thank you.
Mr. Sion?
No, thank you.
Mr. Haber?
No, thank you.
Okay, I do have one question. There are some bushes maybe, and there I think is one rather large tree kind of on the corner near where that berm is that I think PJ says is in your yard, not in the right of way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys intend to leave that up? Do you intend to take that out? Do you have any plans with respect to any of that, landscaping or vegetative screening or that sort of thing?
Yeah. Plan to leave that up. We've actually planted some extra trees as well.
And just to add, those would be on the outside of the fence, so they would provide screening for the fence itself too.
Okay. All right. Mr. Carell, any follow-up questions?
No, I'm fine.
Mr. Shekels?
None, thank you.
Mr. Sion?
No, thank you.
Mr. Haber?
No, thank you.
Okay, all right. We will now take testimony from anyone on the line who wishes to speak in support of the appeal. Is there anyone on the line who'd like to speak in support of the appellants in case 16-2020 related to 2419 Anderson Manor Court? Anyone on the line who wishes to speak in support of the appellants in this case? One more time, is there anyone on the line who wishes to speak in support of the appellants in case 16-2020 BZA relating to 2419 Anderson Manor Court? Okay, hearing none, is there anyone on the line who would like to speak in opposition to the appellants in case 16-2020 BZA relating to 2419 Anderson Manor Court? Anyone on the line who wishes to speak in opposition to the appellants in case 16, which is 2419 Anderson Manor Court? Okay, last call. Anyone on the line who wishes to speak in opposition to case 16-2020, 2419 Anderson Manor Court? Okay, I don't hear anyone else. If there are no further questions from the board, is there a motion to close the public hearing on case 16?
So moved.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Mr. Correll,
Aye.
Mr. Shekels,
Aye.
Mr. Sion,
Aye.
Mr. Haber,
Aye.
Mr. Nye.
Aye. Okay, that concludes agenda item 3. The next agenda item is discussion of this case. Mr. Correll, you're first on my list. Would you like to start the discussion?
I think everything on both ends were put together quite well. The variance of the privacy what the appellants are asking for, I can understand why. I support what they're requesting.
Okay, anything else?
That's all.
All right, Mr. Shekels.
No, I can't think of any reason not to grant this variance. My only curiosity is how will we get the front yard, front on the Hunley on that property? I've never walked it.
All right, anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Mr. Sion.
I'm also in favor of approving. We've approved other similar cases where I guess the conundrum of the two front yards, so to speak, where they've got a front yard on another road as well as one where they come out driveway-wise. So we've done it before. I drive by this property regularly. I've seen it, and I have no objections to the fence as well.
Okay, Mr. Haber.
I have no objection of why we should not grant the variance for all the reasons that have been stated. I'm in total agreement.
Okay. And I agree as well. I think the variance is not substantial. I think the essential character of the neighborhood would not be altered. Right across the street, there's kind of a similar fence. This one I think would be a little farther from the road. Won't affect delivery of government services, et cetera, et cetera. I think the spirit and intent of the zoning resolution would be observed and justice done by granting the variance. And as I think a few people have mentioned, maybe 2-3 months ago, we had a similar case at the corner of Newtown Road and Stirrup Road with a similar request for a similar fence. And we approved that in a similar relationship to the house. I think in that case, we did not approve a request to bring it all the way forward up to Stirrup Road. But that is really not, what this applicant is asking for here. So I also am in favor of granting the variance. I guess I would say, we typically impose standard conditions of the work must be done in substantial conformance with the plans dated August 13th. We usually require work to be started within 1 year and completed within 2. And subject to those conditions, I would move that we grant the variance. Is there a second?
I second the motion. This is Paul Sion.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Mr. Correll,
Aye.
Mr. Shekels,
Aye.
Mr. Sion,
Aye.
Mr. Haber,
Aye.
Mr. Nye.
Aye. Okay. That concludes agenda item number 4 to the Barclays. We will reduce this to a decision here in the next little bit. We'll sign it hopefully tomorrow, and you guys can connect with the staff to see about how you pick up your zoning certificate. You're welcome to stay on for the other case or in the discussion of the journalization, but you don't have to.
Hey, Jeff, I don't think that the resolutions will be able to be signed by tomorrow, so I think that we'll be able to get them issued by early next week.
Okay, not tomorrow. I apologize. But soon, get in touch with the staff and we'll get it to you as soon as we can.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
All
We
right, thanks for your
appreciate
time. All right, next up is consideration of 17-2020 BZA, which is a conditional use request for an accessory apartment at 7150 Ragland Road, number 15. Will the staff please present the case?
Yes, hello. My name is Kyle Gibbs. I am the co-op for Anderson Township Planning and Zoning. I'll be presenting case 17-2020 BZA. Applicant is Kurt J. Platt. He's an architect at Platt Architecture and Design, and he's on behalf of Brian Tome, who is the property owner of 7150 Ragland Road, Lot 15. It is zoned A residence, and the request is for a conditional use for an accessory apartment. Accessory apartments are a conditional use in a single family zoning district per Article 5.4 I1 of the Anderson Township zoning resolution. And just for a refresh of the definition of an accessory apartment, per the zoning resolution, it is a single family dwelling apartment intended for use as a complete independent living facility that is in the same structure as, under the same ownership as, and subordinate to a resident constructed as a single family resident, with one of the two dwelling units occupied as the principal resident of the owner. For just a refresh. So the proposed development itself is to construct the accessory apartment above the existing garage. The proposed accessory apartment will not change the exterior dimensions or the appearance of the existing garage. The first level will remain a 2-car garage, and that's how it will be used. Second level will function as approximately a 794 square foot living area for the family member of the owner. And the accessory apartment will be connected to the structure, the existing house, by an elevated breezeway about 8 foot tall. So it will be one structure if this is granted and constructed. So the history of the property, it is located within the Hermitage Club, which is 244 acres of wooded land just south of Newtown inside of Anderson Township. So it's 27 joint members own the overall property, and each member leases 1 acre. So for the parcel itself, it was issued the construction zoning certificate of construction for a new home on the lot in August of 2012. Later in September, a variance was granted for that freestanding garage to be built in the side yard. A retaining wall was later approved in the rear yard. April 2013, a zoning certificate was issued to build a covered deck in the rear yard. And then earlier this year in March, there was a variance grant for an in-ground swimming pool in the side yard. So this is a map of the Hermitage Club property. The single dot gives you an idea of where the parcel for the applicant is located within the Hermitage Club. This is the property map, kind of giving you an idea of its surroundings and the shape of the parcel that's in discussion. The aerial map does a good job of showing you just how much tree canopy is out in the Hermitage Club, how much screening there is surrounding the property. And the topography of the parcel, you can kind of see on the southwest portion of the property just how steep it is, which is why there's been variance for the garage and for that in-ground swimming pool in the side yards. This is the proposed site plan. The main aspects to take away from this is that the structures, the house, the garage are not changing. Driveway isn't changing. The only noticeable difference in the exterior is you can see on the southwest or the south portion of the garage that L-shaped breezeway, how it comes off of the garage, it turns, and then it ultimately comes back and connects to the edge of the house. This is the floor plan for the garage. The right side would be the 2-car garage. I think the only difference that here is the staircase that would lead up to the accessory apartment. The left side shows the layout for the apartment. It has a kitchen, it has the bathroom, and then the living area. So it would function as an independent living unit, which is what the definition requires in the zoning resolution. This is a site plan for the breezeway itself. It's 6 feet wide. It comes off of the garage on the southern portion, and then it forms, and I believe it's 37 feet is what it takes to connect to the house, and that's what's being proposed for the breezeway. This is an elevation view of the breezeway. It's 8 feet in height, and the materials being used for the breezeway match what is already existing on the covered deck that was built back in 2013. So this is the front of the property. This is looking from the private road that 3 other families use to access their homes as well. So there's not any kind of public, it's not a heavily used road. So this kind of showing you the character of the house itself, the existing garage where the accessory unit will be built into, and that garage matches the character of the house itself, and neither of the structures will change in dimensions. Image just a little bit zoomed in of the garage itself. You kind of start to see where that breezeway will be. Oh, you're fine, Brad. The next image is in the rear yard. You can kind of see where that retaining wall is on that steep slope. This gives you a better idea and a better look at where that breezeway is going to connect to the house, right next to kind of the little shed that they have there, and then ultimately come out and connect to the deck. And then this is looking kind of parallel with the door to the garage, headed towards the house. This is almost the direct line of where the breezeway will sit. This is looking from the driveway, kind of looking at the gap that the breezeway will fill and kind of how it's going to look from the road. And then this is again from the private road, looking onto the house, so you can kind of get an idea of how the final product will look. All right, for the staff findings, Board of Zoning Appeal will make a finding that proposes the conditional use is appropriate in the location proposed. So the findings shall be based upon the general considerations set forth in Article 2.12 D8, as well as the designated specific criteria for specific uses, in this case, accessory apartment, that is contained in Article 5.1 I1. So beginning with Article 212 D8, the spirit and intent, the staff believes that the proposed use and development would comply with the spirit and intent of the zoning resolution with district purposes by meeting the conditional use standards, which we will get into in a couple slides. The proposed accessory apartment would not have an adverse effect upon adjacent properties or the public health, safety, or general welfare. The proposed accessory apartment is 250 feet from the nearest resident and is within an existing garage that matches the architecture of the home. The proposed accessory apartment will respect natural, scenic, and historical features of significant public interest. The proposed accessory apartment is located in an area that will have minimal negative effects on natural and scenic features on the property, and really it doesn't remove any additional landscaping that exists. The proposed accessory apartment is consistent with the Anderson Township zoning resolution, as the accessory apartment is compliant with height setback requirement for the property. For conditional use, we also make sure that it's in accordance with Township's comprehensive plan, which staff believes that it is consistent with goals and initiatives set forth in the People and Housing chapters in the 2016 comprehensive plan. This property is designated for single-family residential use on the future land use map, and the staff feels that the proposed accessory apartment is consistent with that use classification as well. And finally, the specific criteria set in Article 5.4 I1. So accessory apartments must meet M, PI, Q, and Y. M is that no exterior alterations of an existing structure shall be made that depart from the residential character of the building, and that all new structures shall be compatible in residential design with the surrounding neighborhood, which staff feels that this is in compliance. The applicant has indicated that the accessory apartment will not alter exterior dimensions or the appearance of the existing structure, and that the breezeway will consist of materials that are also already used on the property and also are similar to existing residents. Signage for P and I, the signage shall be regulated as follows. There are no signs that are being proposed on the property, so this portion is in compliance. Q is that the conditional use shall be subordinate to the principal permitted use with regard to usage and character. Again, the staff feels this is in compliance. The proposed accessory apartment and breezeway is consistent with the single family use and character of the property. And then Y, the intensity of the particular use shall be evaluated with regard to location, size, and configuration of the tract. And staff is an opinion that the proposed intensity of the accessory apartment is appropriate. The accessory apartment will not affect the location, size, or configuration of existing structures on the property, and that the breezeway is appropriately positioned to serve as an elevated connection between the primary residence and the proposed accessory apartment. And then we finish with the standards. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Does the board have any questions for staff? Mr. Corral?
Everything's very well put together. I have nothing.
Okay, Mr. Shekels?
No, I'm good.
Mr. Sion?
No questions, thank you.
Mr. Haber?
Thank you. I do have a question. So as I understand the request, that the single dwelling unit apartment intended for use as a complete independent living facility that is in the same structure as and subordinate to the existing residence. So what I'm understanding, the reasoning here is the garage is being considered an addition to the house. And in order to make it an addition to the house, it has to be connected to the house. And that's why the breezeway is being considered. Am I understanding that reasoning correctly?
Yes, that is my understanding, that the breezeway is being built so that the accessory apartment and the primary structure are connected.
So does the addition conform to the zoning requirements as far as location within yards or whatnot? There's adequate side yard from that garage structure to whatever adjacent property line.
Yes, that is correct. It meets the requirements of our zoning resolution.
Okay, because I think we've got an addition here, so that it's part of the it's part of the same structure. It's being connected, which is appropriate. And so I just didn't hear anything regarding the location of it adjacent. So if it's your testimony that the addition is in conformance, then I understand and I appreciate that. And I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Okay, good question. No variance required, in other words, for the addition. It's just conditional use here today. Okay, Mr. Correll, any
Yes.
follow-up questions?
No, I have nothing.
Okay,
I'm good.
Mr. Shekels?
No questions.
None for Mr. Shekels. Mr. Sion?
No questions. Thank you.
Okay, will the appellant or the appellant's representative please unmute yourself, speak into your phone, and state your name and address?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. My name is Kurt Platt. I'm the architect for the property owner. You need my address also, is that correct?
Please.
Yes, 1810 Campbell Alley, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45202.
Okay, and will you raise your right hand to be sworn, please? Do you
Yes,
swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, please tell us anything you'd like to tell us.
Yeah, no, I think the presentation was very thorough, and I appreciate the staff's recommendation. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add. I think it's pretty straightforward. I mean, it felt complicated getting into it. It feels straightforward right now. And yes, it is. The breezeway is connecting it to making an addition, and it does fall within the setbacks of as if we were designing it originally. So, but yeah, if you have any questions of me as far as materials and such, or any specifics, but yeah, I have no other comments.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Correll, do you have any questions for Mr. Platt?
None whatsoever. Everything's very good.
Okay. Mr. Shekels?
No questions.
Mr. Sion?
No, thank you.
Mr. Haber?
No questions. Thank you.
Okay, I don't either. Thank you, Mr. Platt. I know that Mr. Tome is also on the line. Mr. Tome, is there anything that you want to add to this?
I think, thank you for the staff. Great work. You made something that has been very complicated to us sound very understandable. Yeah, we're just putting in the breezeway so we can be in compliance. We're not a fan of breezeways necessarily. We're just a fan of being able to get what we need to have done up there. But thank you.
Okay.
Hey, Mr. Nye, was Mr. Tome sworn in?
Well, I was just going to ask that myself. Mr. Tome, were you sworn when we swore Mr. Platt?
No. I was not, no.
Okay, will you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, and is everything that you just said previously the truth and the whole truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is there anything else you want to add?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Correll, do you have any questions for Mr. Tome?
No, I do not.
Mr. Shekels?
None.
Mr. Sion?
No, thank you.
Mr. Haber?
None. Thank you.
Mr. Tome, my only question is what happened to the pool?
COVID-19 happened to the pool. That's what happened.
Yeah,
so I didn't feel like I thought it was too risky to do a big thing after all the COVID stuff has happened. But it is, I'm told that we may be breaking ground this fall. So we'll see.
Fingers crossed. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Is there any other questions from the board? I got everyone, didn't I? I think I did. Okay, I will now take testimony from anyone on the line who supports the appellant in case 17-2020. Is there anyone on the line who wishes to speak in support? Is there anyone on the line who wishes to speak in support of the appellant in case 17-2020 BZA, which is the breezeway at lot 15 at 7150 Raglan Road? Anyone on the line who wishes to speak in support of the appellant in case 17? Okay, hearing none. Is there anyone on the line who wishes to speak in opposition to the appellant in case 17-2020? Anyone on the line who wishes to speak in opposition to the appellant in case 17-2020? Last call. Anyone on the line who wishes to speak in opposition to the appellant in case 17-2020? All right, hearing none. If there are no further comments and no questions from the board, is there a motion to close the public hearing in case 17?
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Haber moves. Is there a second?
All fine, second.
Mr. Sines seconds. The secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Correll,
Aye.
Mr. Shekels,
Aye.
Mr. Cyan,
Aye.
Mr. Haber,
Aye.
Mr. Nye.
Aye. Okay, that is agenda item 5. Agenda item number 6 is discussion of this case. Mr. Correll, do you want to start us off?
I have no discussion. I think everything was very well put together, and I was impressed with both sides. I have nothing.
Okay, Mr. Shekels?
I'm completely in support of the approval. The only question I would have would be a format question, since this is a conditional use request. Do we have to attach the standards to be considered or anything like that to our documents? I don't know, because I'm just asking.
Yeah, I think we will probably specifically mention those in our journalization. I think that's what we've done in the past.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
No.
Mr. Cyan, anything?
No, I'm in support of the application.
Mr. Haber?
I'm in support. Thank you.
Hey, I also in support. I think we're in compliance with all the requirements. Thanks to everyone for making this an easy one on us here on the board. Do we have a motion?
Haber here. Case number 17-2020 BZA at 7150 Raglan Road, lot number 15. I move that the board approves a conditional use request to allow an accessory apartment as a conditional use in the single family zoning district. I'm going to cite staff's findings. I'm also going to include the letter from the Hermitage Club that it is aware and has approved the plans as well. I'm going to cite the drawings. If I can find a date here. The cover letter is dated August 14th, 2020. And I will use that as the date for the drawings, that it's in substantial conformance with the drawings, and that it be started within 1 year and completed within 2 years.
Okay, there's a motion. Do we have a second?
Earl Correll seconds.
All right, we have a motion, a second. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Mr. Correll,
Aye.
Mr. Shekels,
Aye.
Mr. Cyan,
Aye.
Mr. Haber,
Aye.
Mr. Nye.
Aye. All right, that completes agenda item number 6. All that's left is the journalization of these decisions. Mr. Platt, Mr. Tome, you're welcome to stick around for that, but you do not have to. It sounds like probably early next week you'll be able to pick up a zoning certificate on this, but if you want to get in touch with staff by phone tomorrow or Monday, they'll be able to talk you through that. You're welcome to stick around for the rest of it, but you don't need to.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
Yes. Thank you.
Boy, okay. The last agenda item is journalization of the cases. I think we are on pace to have the fastest meeting that we've ever had in the time I've been on the board. So let's keep our foot to the on this.
I can open these, if I can open these resolutions.
No pressure.
Oh, I know.
You got 7 minutes.
We just have to make sure that all the cases are as easy as these.
Yeah.
Be nice.
We are not allowing any more difficult cases to be
We've had a tough few months.
submitted.
Yeah, I know. Come on. Open. I saved them to the OneDrive so I wouldn't have to go in, but here we go. Okay, here we go. So let's start with, I didn't want to have to mess with the remote access. Let's see here. Case 16, 2020 BZA, so let me make shareable.
Hey, everyone.
Hey.
I don't know if I've ever had, I don't know if I've ever had one where no residents were.
Not a single testimony?
Not a one.
Yeah, my computer's not cooperating right now.
Of course not.
Oh, man.
You could drag this out for another hour.
I don't at all, trust me. Let's see here. Come on.
I guess I gotta close that.
We got it?
There you go.
There we go.
Is it there? Okay. Whew. Just let me know when everyone's ready for me to scroll.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Ready?
Right.
PJ, should you delete 4 since the reasons in your resolution should be for the 6-foot-high fence and not?
So I think I can delete the applicant as indicated. I can delete this part. Well, I guess I could just take it all out.
Yeah, I think you need to take the whole thing out.
That'll work.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any changes?
That looks good to me. The plans, were the plans August 9th or were they August?
So I was going off of the cover letter. I didn't have a copy at home that was stamped. So
Well,
I know this. Yeah, August 13th is what it looks like on the plans that I have here. So that'll work.
Okay, that all looks good to me.
Mr. Chair, this is Haber regarding case 16-2020 BZA. I move that we approve and journal our decision.
There's a motion. Do we have a second?
This is Paul Cyan, I second.
All right, the secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Corral?
Aye.
Mr. Shekels?
Aye.
Mr. Cyan?
Aye.
Mr. Haber?
Aye.
Mr. Nye?
Aye.
Yeah, you got 2 minutes.
What always baffles me is they've already got these already typed up. They must know us, the board, too doggone well.
Oh, there's some that are toss ups that we wait until the next day to.
Yeah.
We can't read you guys that well yet.
Like zoning commissions, I can't do it all beforehand.
Are we still being recorded?
Yep.
Well, I was just going to, no, I wasn't going to do anything stupid. I was just going to go and try to change my virtual background while we're here.
Well, let's see it. What do you got?
So I'm going to try to play with it and see what I do.
That's what Pinky was trying to do at our TAC meeting the other night, and she couldn't get it to work.
I don't have any idea how to do that.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, Paul's on a button.
Nice.
Wow. How do I do that?
You got me now?
Well, it looks good,
Yeah.
Paul.
Okay, well,
Got something much better than you.
I'll buy it for all you guys who can get here.
Where's
Oh, I see your picture, but I don't see you.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, see, on mine, it's showing me it's with my face in front of it.
Nope.
He can only see the background for us.
For that sort of stuff. I thought they were going to put it up completely.
Oh. And what was the date on the plans?
The date on the plans, the other one? The receipt stamp is the 14th.
14th, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
PJ, we still can't see 17.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was sharing it this whole time.
No, we were still on 16.
Oh, because I just clicked Word and then I had to click the actual. Man, I don't like this new update. Okay, let me go to the top again.
I was just enthralled by Paul's background and really his foreground, so I didn't even know.
Now I can't get the got thing off of there. It's funny, but it's not showing my face, huh? But in my little inset, it's showing my face right in the middle of the beach there.
Nope, you got nothing.
That's what you call a split personality.
So PJ, in your first one, the proposed use and development would comply. It needs to be does comply or will comply, either or. Same with that. Yep. Thank you.
Thanks.
That all looks good to me.
Do we want to add anything about the letter from the Hermitage Club? Because that's just a direct testimony to the approval by the adjacent property.
Good idea.
Sure.
Just like the applicant received approval from the Hermitage Club.
Sure. Works for me.
Yeah, written approval. works.
That's good.
Thank you.
Your lines are off there.
Oh, there we go.
That all looks good to me.
Mr. Chair, this is Haber regarding case 17-20 BZA. I move that we approve and journal our decision.
There's a motion. Do we have a second? Hey, Paul's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Okay. Well, I got my feet wet and I decided to come back.
All right. I'll second Mr. Haber's motion. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Mr. Corral?
Aye.
Mr. Shekels?
Aye.
Mr. Sion?
Aye.
Mr. Haber?
Aye.
Mr. Nye?
Aye. Right. That completes
Great.
our agenda. Unless there are any objections. Anyone? All right.
Nope.
We adjourn.
Meeting
Next
adjourned.
meeting, the first day of the month of October.
October 1st. All right. Meeting adjourned. Gavel bang.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good one.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Great
you.
meeting.
Bye.
Hey, Brad,
Do you want me to
Yeah.
come by tomorrow to?
call at home. Would you mind?
Did PJ leave already? Yes, Jeff, we can print those out and have you come by. Would you want to come by like sometime tomorrow afternoon? Or,
Anytime is fine.
okay, I will get with Paul Drury is in the office tomorrow. I'll get with him and see if we can print those out. I also, me and PJ realized we hadn't signed several of them or minutes that have been approved. So there are 2 sets of minutes up at the counter as well. So I'll have Paul print off the 2 resolutions in the minutes, and I'll be waiting for you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
And then, Paul, you said you could sign sometime next Tuesday?
Yeah, probably sometime between 10 and noon next Tuesday. I can get by there. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Then we'll issue the zoning certificates Tuesday or Wednesday.
All right.
Great.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Sounds good.
Earl, did you have something?
Yeah, could you give me a call at home if you got a minute?
Sure.
Just something off the wall I want to ask you. Talk to you in a minute.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you very much.
Yep,
Yeah.
no problem.